All right, is this on? Yes, sounds like it. Good morning, everybody. So good to see you all. I feel like I've gotten to talk to lots of you, but not everybody, which makes me sad, but it is so wonderful to look out in this room and to see all the energy and the care, the passion, the commitment. So thank you. Thank you for being who each of you is every day. We are going to close with a conversation about some of the strategy sessions that we have had this week. Not a closure, but a conversation. And then we are going to bring up the Common Chords music group for what Neo is calling a report out. Not a performance, a report out. So we look forward to both of those parts. We are closing today as we hope to go forward in community. Arms linked, whatever that looks like, as we walk into tomorrow. The agenda that we are talking about is built among us. It is something that is community-led, parent-led. It is both trying to think long-term and practical about near-term wins. And we know that it's a narrative and a policy and an organizing play. And as you all heard yesterday and probably today, it's messy. We're in the middle of it. We don't quite know what it looks like. We're trying. And we appreciate that you all are leaning in and willing to try with us, and that you're giving us, as always, can count on this, constructive feedback. So thank you. After this, we want to continue to listen and to engage our broader Ascend community. So not just this amazing group of fellows in the room, but broader group of fellows, our Ascend network, parent advisors, so that we can continue to learn and build and iterate and iterate and iterate. So what we want to do this morning, and I'm going to bring up a few folks to do that, is just share a few thoughts of where we are now. Not a conclusion, but just where we are now and some of what we've heard, so that we bring the multiple rooms together. Before we do that, though, I'm going to invite my dear teammate, Danny, to share a few lines with us, and then I'm going to invite Megan, Anthony, Reggie, and Ron Lee up.
Please repeat after me. Peace, love, respect. Peace, love, respect. Word. I just have a few lines from the poem we read by Amanda Gorman, What We Carry, and it goes a little bit like this. But what we have left is all we need. We are enough, armed only with our hands open but unemptied. Just like a blooming thing, we walk into tomorrow carrying nothing but the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. I do work with the most amazing people. All right, if I could invite Megan Wyatt, Managing Director of the Bezos Family Foundation, Reggie Bicha, President and CEO of the American Public Human Services Association, Anthony Barrows, Executive Director of Lyft New York, and Ron Lee, Liaw, Mental Health and Chief of Children's Hospital Colorado. Up to the stage, please. Thank you all.
Are we on?
We already got a countdown.
Is everyone settled?
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you, Lori, and the Ascend team. I just want to say that this was like a singularly awesome experience. So thank you. And as Lori mentioned, I have the privilege of being the managing director for early childhood at the Bezos Family Foundation, but my favorite title is Ascend Champion. And so I think our charge right now is to close us out with a little bit of fuel and momentum by elevating some of the themes from the strategy sessions. So let's dive in. I'm told that we have to be quick, so I will take moderator's prerogative. Let's start with, I think, Anthony, I'd love to start with you because you said you're a little fun and irreverent. 60 seconds.
Yeah.
What was your strategy session, and what were some of the themes that came up?
Awesome. Where are my asset building people in the room? Cheers to you. So like our thing was to rebel immediately and to discard the 18 to 24 month timeline. Because what we thought we needed to do was align on a North Star, and like where are we heading and why are we going there, in order to drill down and move backwards from there to the stuff that could get done in the next 2 years. So that's where we started. And where we wound up was, I'm going to read them out as I synthesize them, was that we had a set of principles that we needed to work toward as we chose the things that we would do in the next 2 years. First of all, we need enough family-facing resources for families to thrive. Secondly, they need to be delivered through family-impacting systems that treat them justly. And then finally, those systems need to adopt approaches that are conscious about race and fairness and equity and class, that respect and listen to and are led by community, that are premised on the core ideas of human rights, and that are oriented toward the future and are sustainable over multiple generations. So that's where we started. And forgive us, Ascend, for having rebelled, but I think it brought us somewhere good.
Ron Lee, would you like to share your session? What came out? Did you stick to the did you stick to the assignment?
Yes, we did, right, guys? So who are the health people? Thank you. So I'm going to try. I'll try and do a little bit of justice too, because I think we started in healthcare and threats, Medicaid, SNAP, family benefits, all of it, and then thank you, Kwame. He said, what about the broader notion of health? Right? So I'll just read a little bit because we talked about how health is foundational to everything we've been talking about this week and everything we're going to go back to when we head home. But our well-being is tied not only to our genes, our family history, our medical care, but also how we live, where we live, our environments, our relationships, our access to high-quality, healthy food, nutrition, healthy, clean water, air, homes, green spaces, third spaces, holistic health care that's inclusive of mental health care, prevention, early intervention, family-based services, birth equity and justice, safety, and community support. And we talked about how if this is a tsunami wave, and this is why is there a tsunami happening right now also, but if this is a tsunami wave and we all stand up and we throw our hands up and face it head on, we will get crushed. So Emily Miller, if you're still here, she said, let's dive deep. Let's go down in the water. Let's go under the wave. Let's go into our local, hyper-local communities and neighborhoods. Let's see what our communities need from us. Let's see what we can give to each other so that we don't just survive, but we thrive through this time, right? And how do we then come up on the other side of the wave, look for each other, those we love, the what and the who we care most about, right? Why don't we be a flotilla, our life craft, our life rafts for each other while we search for new land? So just a little bit of a taste of the beauty, the art, the science, the data, the telling of the full story that our team was looking for.
Go for it.
Oh, thank you. I was just sitting here thinking, like, health is foundational, that's good. Assets, lovely and important. But human services, we bring it all together. That's right. Where's the human services crowd? That's right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here's my summary. The human services system we run today, particularly on the public side, the government side, is a system that was started in the 1930s. In the Roosevelt's New Deal was influenced heavily by the war on poverty in the 1960s. We tinkered with it during Perora in the 1980s or 90s, all of which were great ideas for the 20th century. Turns out we're already well into the 21st century, and we need a human services system that recognizes all that we have learned and is reformed and revised and ready to take on the challenges of a 21st century family. To that end, we talked about the need for integrating our system, from technology to policies that are actually aligned across federal programs, that are single points of entry, except those single points of entry need to happen in multiple places so that we can be, every door is open, not no wrong door, every door is open for people to be able to come in, that they can get access for what they need. They don't need to know the program, they need to know what they need and communicate that, and the systems are aligned in order to help families get what they need when they need it. And even to the point of realigning and thinking through tax policies that help families to move forward and to get ahead. By the way, we also felt that we needed to do a better job of refocusing how we keep families together. I'm not just talking about the child welfare system or the juvenile justice system, although we would all agree that there's work to do there. I'm talking about things like child support policy, that we should shift child support visitation policy, for instance. It's not visitation, you don't visit your kids, you parent your kids. And you ought not be prohibited from seeing your kids because you're not paying your child support on time. We need to move those systems forward. We need to rethink TANF, not from the system of getting a job, but rather the experience of a child and making certain that all households are better off where those kids are living. That we need to be thinking about caregivers and making certain that all caregivers are central to the work that we're doing. And lastly, this new plan, this new vision, it needs to be focused at the states, it needs to be driven locally, but it needs to be empowered by those who are intended to benefit from the system.
I can get behind that. So I had the privilege of being in the early childhood and caregiving group, which was brilliantly facilitated by Blythe and Chidi. And, you know, I think we, like you, thought very holistically. Someone sort of asked, but it was more of a provocation, what do we mean by early childhood? Is it a period of development? What do we mean by caregivers? So that actually led us to, I think, some areas of alignment that were surprising to me. We talked a lot about cash. We talked a lot about birth centers. We talked about kinship care. So I love this sort of holistic thinking that I'm hearing across the group. I'd love to get a little more specific in this next round. What were some comments or themes that you think deserve a little more attention and exploration? Can I start with you, Runley?
Sure. I mean, there were so many. I think that's I wish like the transcripts of the AI scribe, where's Sixto? Like, I hope we can share the depth of the conversation and the wandering, meandering paths. I mean, one thing I will say, I just got a text from my research team, the NIH has stopped giving grants. Everything is paused right now, right? And it's been a heck of a year for science and for data and for public health systems that have been supporting us in our ability to prevent illness, to promote well-being. It is all, I think, to quote Gretchen Hammer, it's all burning down, right? So where do you safeguard all of the data, both the stories and the narrative data, as well as the quantitative, the analytic, the research, academic data, right? Where do we start to build? And what's the new data that we need? If Craig is here too, what is the new data we need for the new foundation of what we're hoping to build? Because without that, and I think Sixto made a good point yesterday, right? Yeah, I mean, policy. And where was Kimberly? Oh my God, Kimberly, your Yelp app, Earth, right? Where is she? Yes, thank you. Like amazing and you'll find Kimberly afterwards, but about the Yelp app for Black joy and birthing experience and trauma. Right? The health grades of hospitals and doctors and birthing centers, using that data then to fuel systems change and policy change, right? We need that now too. So we thought together a lot about what is the full story? How do we use quantitative, qualitative, different mixed methods, different ways of telling stories? But we need this room's help, right? We know some of those pieces, we don't have all of the narrative.
Thank you. It's easy to forget the data, right, and how important it is to focus on that, even if it feels really technical. So thank you for elevating that. Do you want to go next, Anthony?
Yeah, absolutely. So I gave you the big sweeping vision of like where we wanted to go, why we wanted to go there. And we engaged in a little bit of democracy. So we laid a bunch of ideas on the table, we narrowed them to the ones that were specifically about asset building, and we voted. And two 18 to 24-month strategies rose to the top. But importantly, that was preceded by a philosophical conversation about what do we even mean by assets? And the two that rose to the top reflected two kinds of ways of thinking about assets. One of them was about getting more unrestricted cash in families' pockets. And there was a specific way that we thought about it, which was maybe by combining a bunch of these benefit streams into cash into families' pockets. But it's pretty simple. If you know the research, there is no thing that human beings have ever devised that is a more effective or efficient intervention in the anti-poverty space than just giving people money. And so that one won, and that was on the individual side. How do we get real hard assets into people's pockets? The other one was more collective and was about thinking about how we can ensure that any development that's happening out in our communities redounds benefit back to the community, and making sure that we have systems in place that if you're putting up a big apartment building or a stadium, that money flows back into community, and importantly, that it preserves the affordability and availability of housing for families. So those were the two that rose to the top as 18 to 24-month interventions. But the third one was a longer-term one, and it's so critical that we talk about it, which was about how do we acquire power? Because we can't do any of that if we don't reclaim our government and our society from the fascists that are eviscerating it and trying to erase our communities. And so we need to do that. And so we talked about narratives in regards to that. And the narrative that we really landed on is crucial for us, I think, to walk out of here remembering, which is that well-being, the well-being of our communities, can never be sacrificed for wealth accumulation. We need a moral revolution that says our society and its institutions and its laws and its tax codes have to be in service of our collective well-being, not our individual enrichment. And so that's where we need to go.
Awesome. What from your session, Reggie, do you feel needs more attention or exploration, an outlier comment or something that you didn't really have the opportunity to fully delve into?
As I go into that, Megan, I'm struck by the comment that you made about it's burning down. I think you said Gretchen or somebody referenced it's burning down. And something that I've been thinking a lot about over the last 6-7 months or so is that in Colorado, where I live, we have wildfires, big darn deal, or big tornadoes that come through. In other parts of the country, it might be hurricanes or severe floods. But all of our leaders, regardless of where we are in the country, when there is a natural disaster that devastates something, every one of our leaders stands up and says, we will rebuild, and we will rebuild better than before. And I think that's the challenge. If we are indeed in a period where we are burning it down, we must learn the lessons of what was not working well in the system in the first place and prepare ourselves to rebuild a system that is better designed to meet the needs of kids and families in the 21st century. A couple of things that we talked about, Anthony, we actually had some tension in our group about some who felt strongly about universal basic income, and maybe it was a time to take that to scale and really give resources, financial resources to family. There were others who felt just giving people money was insufficient, it's not sustainable, and that actually helping people, investing in them as individuals, getting them the skills, tools, knowledge to be able to connect to a workplace, a work world, and making certain that work actually pays, that you're getting a decent living, that you're getting good benefits, et cetera, might be a better, more sustainable strategy for families. So there was a tension there that I would suggest needs more exploration. The last thing that I would say is about caregivers. Not just mom and dad, but that it requires an entire community, a healthy community, a community that is prepared to meet the needs of young children. And so we talked about early child care providers and how we can support them in being prepared. We talked about kinship providers and other folks in the community and how we really think about caregivers in a more holistic way to make certain that they have the resources, the capacity, and the ability to be there to support children and their families when their parents aren't able to. Y'all can clap for that. Come on now.
So,
Anthony will walk off here like, did you see they all clap for me? I didn't say anything for you, Reggie.
So I appreciate that analogy as someone who also lives with the threat of wildfires. Who is going to stand up? We talked a lot in the caregiving group about narrative strategy, reclaiming, sort of communications, also sort of a unlikely outcome as a policy objective for the group. So I'd love to hear from each of you, where is that unified voice? Who needs to be at the table that is not? Because the fire's here. And anyone can start.
I'll jump in. First and foremost, the people that we are intending to serve, those who are intended to benefit from our work, are the people who need to be at the table. And not just at all of the tables where decisions are made, whether it be major level federal state policy and at the table and influencing the thoughts and the work and the way we evaluate those programs in very real ways, down to influencing what it's like when I walk into the County Human Service Agency door and what that form looks like and how you're going to communicate with me and what language you're using. All of those levels require those that we are serving or intended to serve to be at the table in meaningful ways, and this is the hard part, I think, to be given the power to make decisions that we then implement.
Do you agree?
I do.
Brunley?
It's
I do.
really pissing me
Yeah.
off that was also really good. Nothing. It was just crickets. Just crickets.
Reggie needs some love here. So no, I totally agree. I was thinking, because the conversation in our room was, and I wasn't going to ask people to raise their hands, but like usually when I speak about mental health, I'm thinking about everybody knows somebody loves somebody who's struggling or has dealt with mental health issues. But now I can ask you all, who knows somebody who is somebody who's worried about somebody who's being sued or about to be sued or is under investigation or is in a class action lawsuit, right? Like we need cover. That's the other thing, right? Mm-hmm. So we need mutual aid. Where's Nathan, Dr. Nathan? We need cover and we need mutual aid. But the cover comes in the choir, right? And I was sitting to Twyla's like, I've got a network of community-based birth workers who will stand up and be courageous and speak with each of their beautiful, unique voices in power. Stephanie was talking about education. I've got parents, I've got teachers, I've got coaches. It's literally everybody we work with in partnership and community who will be standing up. But the thing is, everybody is looking for the music, right? I saw you with your iPad. We're looking for the chords. We're looking for the verse. We're looking for the lyric. We're looking for the language, right? So that's the question. Like our group was like, yes, we're behind this, but what is the clear, focused vision? What is the playbook that we're singing? What is the hymn book that we're singing from, right? And then we all sing, and we all stand up, but we provide each other mutual aid and cover in the process.
Awesome.
Echoes of what both of my colleagues have already said. And what I'll reinforce is it really is about acquiring and responsibly wielding power. So if we don't have a theory of action to work across lines of division, to regain the legislative and then executive branches, we're dead in the water. We're not going to be able to do the things that we want to do. How we get there from here is up for debate, and I think is the work that we all have to face together. And the phrase that I've been repeating the whole time that we've been here is popular front. We need to set aside our differences. I have deep, deep disagreements with centrist Democrats and with moderate Republicans. And we need to overcome them, set them aside, agree on a few principles that will allow us to reclaim our country. And when we've done that, then we can go back to bickering about where the marginal tax rate should be and what cash should or shouldn't look like as we give it to families. But we're not going to get there until we reclaim and then exercise power in a responsible way.
I love that, but how? How are we going to overcome that? Was there anything from the readings that you drew from your time here that gave you some insight into how you would make that leap? Because the debates are fierce and they're real.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and this is now me speaking on my own behalf, not in anyone else's mouth or words. We need to confront truthfully and honestly what we're facing. We have a generational, civilizational threat in front of us. And if we can get on the same page about that, and then do political education work within our communities to make sure that people aren't falling for the con job, to understand that like the people that are in power right now are not in fact on their sides. They're on their wallets' sides. They're aspiring oligarchs and fascists. We need to resist that. And the only way that we get there is by having credible messengers who can say that to their constituencies and bring them along and agree to compromise for the time being in order to pursue single-mindedly the stuff that needs to happen for us to reacquire power. But like we've all got to be messengers for that moderation and compromise to our own folks. So like we need a good ground game. We need to be organizing.
I'm going to move us to some calls to action, but Reggie, Ron Lee, do you want to build off that? Add something? Dissent?
Thank you for that last word. I would offer a different perspective. What do I want to say? That one of our readings was about being the water. And I think a lot about, our group struggled a lot with the different messages of bold ideas, but feasible within a limited period of time. And I think a lot of the groups struggled with that, what that meant and how do you actually do that? I think about, we got 3.5 years of the current administration, like them, love them, whatever you want to call them.
Despise them.
They are the leadership. And I think a lot about a 2-year-old who might be living in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. And I don't know that we can wait, that she can wait till she's 5.5 for us to get whatever it is we want to get done for the bold change. And so I think a lot about how do I be the water to find those areas where we are aligned with those who feel very differently on economic and other policies, because I truly believe they care about their kids and families too, and their communities, and how we can find the common ground to get things done now that's going to be meaningful kids and families. At the same time, you're taking on a bigger, bolder vision that might not be doable for, another 4 or 8 years.
Awesome. Well, that's a great segue to a call to action. A quick one. Is that your call to action, or is there anything you want to add?
That was a good call to action. I'm going to leave it there. I didn't even have to ask for applause. They just did it, so I'm going to take my win and go.
Call to action.
I'll echo
Personal,
something.
Organizational.
Well, I'll echo something that Ronnie was saying that you were implying as well, which is we need mutual aid. So even if you don't agree with my radical position, like we are going to need to help each other through all of this. And the only way we're going to be able to sustain the fight is if we bolster each other. Bring each other dinners, offer a shoulder to cry on, stand up and applaud when you're doing a difficult thing, send the text to make sure that you're okay, provide food in the community, make sure that people have hot roofs over their heads. Like mutual aid is the only way we're going to get through it, regardless of what our tactics and strategies are.
Man, you took ours. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. No, I would actually. So Dara, if you're still here, gave a sports metaphor at the end since we got the mutual aid in, and this is some of it. It's like we're all going to be taking some big shots. She was talking about Caitlin Clark, right? Like, and if you're not here, I'm just going to use your quote. Like, what's her percentage completion of her shots?
3-pointers or 2-pointers?
Just I don't know. I didn't. This is not my quote. It's 35%, but she makes big ones. Right? She makes the big ones when it counts, right? And so we are in an organizing phase where many of us are going to be taking big shots, where we're going to completely whiff it or hit the rim or off the court. It doesn't matter. I don't know basketball. But point being, we're going to be taking some big shots and we're going to be taking some big risks. So that point is like if you need a job, if you need money, if you need a place to stay, those types of things, it's the meal, but it's also just the checking in. Like, and we can't always do that. So that collective, I think, Mia, you were saying the caring collective, right? This is as caring a collective as we possibly could find on the planet, right? So with all your new friends and your old friends, I think let's be that caring collective for each other and take those big shots when we can.
Awesome. Go for the 3-pointers. The 3-pointers, right? Great. Well, this was a great way to close. Thank you. At the beginning of the seminar, someone in my group made this observation. I'm not going to attribute them, but I'll sort of paraphrase that in the theme of unstoppable, we know that the forces against a free and just and equitable society may seem unstoppable, but we as individuals and collective will not be stopped. So I just wanted to offer that up because it really resonated with me. Thank you, and I think we're gonna transition to some music.
All right, can we give Megan, Ronley, Reggie, and Anthony another round of applause? And we can give Reggie another one since he got shorted. All right, Thank you. I'm going to invite Dan Varner back up, and then he's going to have a couple words and then segue us into our music. So Dan, our dear, dear part of our family.
I love you too. Who said that? I love you too, Judy. Yeah, thank you. All right. Look, I am completely off script here, so I asked for 4 minutes on the agenda. This was not planned because something was happening for me while we were here that I thought it was important to share. I actually want to do 2 things, and I'm only going to do one, given the conversations that we've been having of late. So the Ascend Fellowship is this amazing. Let me start here. I'm gonna actually combine the 2. So I'm doing this on the fly. Bear with me for a second. So Ann Mosley, Ann, yeah, wave, yeah. I know, Ann's immediately gotten uncomfortable, like, oh my God, he's pointing at me, all right? Ann Mosley is this incredible visionary leader, all right? Sometimes so visionary that it's hard to actually follow where Ann is going, right? It's just being real. And amazing human being, incredible visionary, and she's taking a shot. I just want to illuminate some of what's happening behind the scenes here. She's taking a shot. So Aspen, historically, and thanks to Stace Lindsay, who just clarified this for me on the walk over here, Aspen historically has been about leaders and leadership and investing in you as leaders and leadership. It's not a policy shop, Aspen, right? It's a leadership shop, right? And all of us have gotten the benefit of that as fellows over the years, right? We engage in mutual aid. We build this network of support. We love on one another. We leave refreshed and rejuvenated. And Ann said, I was at the moderator training for Ascend Fellows 6 months ago or so, and as we're on the shuttle headed back to the airport, I said, who's working on Project 2029? Where's that happening? And she said, funny you would ask. I've been having this thought, we should start doing something with that. And maybe it's not Project 2029, maybe it's Project 2200. I don't know, but I feel like this Ascend thing, these people, these amazing fellows, have it in them to build the response to Project 2025, right? To be that. And so she organized this, in part, as an effort to kickstart that process. Right? And at the same time building that policy thing, I don't even want to name it, right? But that thing, at the same time doing that, also still investing in all of us as leaders and investing in our leadership. And so, Ann, I just want to give you a shout out for taking a shot. Look, this did not have to happen. These fellowships are fine as they are. Everybody loves them exactly the way they are. And Ann said, nope, that's not enough. I want something bigger and better, and this team is capable of building it together. So Ann, shout out to you for putting that together. Yep. And it was imperfect, right? And it is up to us collectively. Ascend is not Ann Mosley. As much as we adore her, Ascend is the fellowship. And so it is up to us as fellows to build the thing, whatever it is going to be, whatever it is meant to be, right? To build the thing that will get us to that North Star, right? A country that is an amazing place to be a child and raise a family for all children and all families, right? So I hope you got both the investment in you as a leader and, as messy as it was, I hope that you are seeing the vision that Anne has for this collective and what it's possible for us to build going forward. All right? That was what I wanted to say. All right. And somebody just said it, and I'm sorry I didn't catch who it was, but the cover is in the choir, right? And so I think we actually get a little bit of a taste of that thanks to amazing Neo. Thank you. Thank you. I was actually a part of this choir, and so I'm going to do whatever he tells us to do here. Come on up here and take us home, brother.
Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, it's very, very wonderful to see you all. I'd like the people who are in the choral sessions with me to please come up. Please come join me. I'm going to have to stand down here so everybody up here can see me. But if we could have the low voices on this side and the high voices on this side. And high meaning from the highest to the middle, from the middle of the lows to the lowest. Yeah, the lowest on this side, the highest on that side, please. We began this week, and we spoke about how the choir is premised on this idea of listening and the ability to listen deeply. And what I meant about that was, of course, listening to each other, those who are standing near you, around you, but it's actually also central to the core of this, to listen to yourself, to listen to your own body and what's moving within you. And so the song is carried and threaded through all of these people. They sing one song together. You don't want to get a little bit closer to the microphones? We talked about not hiding. We talked about not hiding, so I'm trying to encourage everybody, partly because we have this wonderful band, The Roots of Music, joined by Jordan, and so together we are one ensemble. And what we did is we started by inviting all of the people who signed up for the group to bring a song. And this is a song that comes from either their community or a song that they identify with. We asked it to be short and simple to learn. So what we're going to do today, right now, is not give you a concert so much, but we're going to give you a feeling, the feeling of what it meant to share time together. And we're going to then illustrate how we strung these new songs together to make a new one that holds these puzzle pieces and tries to make sense of them. But we haven't had a time to connect. The thing about choirs is we need focusing time to be able to sing well. So I'm going to do my focus now because we haven't had the opportunity. So we're going to do a vocal warm-up. But we're going to do the vocal warm-up, and hopefully it will include you, all of you, in our act of defiant silliness. And I hope that you feel comfortable with us, because at the end of it all, we'd like you to join us in our final piece, our final song piece together. Okay? So you just follow me. I'll just lead the warm-up and you follow me. Please do everything I do. Okay, now staying there, we're going to do the octave skip. Ma, ma, ma. Together and and the last one. Mama and wonderful. So we're not going to teach you the song. We'd like you to sing with us. I'll give you a wink at the end. And hopefully by telepathy you'll know what to do. Do we remember the lyrics for everything? Yep. So let's start with these on E flat.
Thank you.
Ready?
Mauritius, China, sail on Malabar. 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 When I'm with you, my family and friends, we are one. One. When I'm with you, my family and friends, we are one. One. she said, all the things she said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. All the things she said, not enough. This is not enough. All the things she said, all the things she said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. All the things she said, all the things she said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. This is not enough. This is not enough. All the things she said, all the things she said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. All the things she said, all the things she said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. This is not enough. This is not enough. All the things she said, all the things she said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. All the things she said, all the things she said, running through my head, running through